first turned up to university, I was just really struck by the sheer amount of opportunities available.
And on the whole, the university is very good for allowing people to try various things, Quidditch being an example.
Yeah, there's lots to do, great city, great campus, lots of societies, and I've met loads of interesting people that I'll hopefully keep as friends for life.
It's quite a good close-knit community, which means people are always available for good chats or to try something out.
But in a lot of cases, without the safety of long-established friendships and people you've grown up with, you can start to realise a lot of things you don't like about yourself and feel quite unsafe building new social groups.
Most people are pretty respecting of your beliefs, but the phrase I often hear is, "Oh, that's really good for you, and I'm really happy it works for you, but it's not for me."
The average student thinks that Christianity is a cult.
People sort of have the perception that Christians and Christianity is sort of the nice religion, that, you know, they're out giving you biscuits after nights out and stuff.
I think there's stereotypes about Christians and Christianity.
That they are all asexual.
You always see Christians doing events and things, so I think people are pretty open to it.
That Christians are boring.
Not really noticing it or acknowledging it at all as such. And I'd say before I joined Navs, that was definitely the category I fitted myself into.
And everything that is uncool is assigned to us.
In Matthew 9, we read of Jesus moving through the towns and villages and meeting places. And he is moved with compassion for the people that he sees. The crowds are harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. Jesus turns to his disciples and says, "Pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest that he would raise up labourers to send into his harvest field." Nottingham has a really strong Christian presence, and there's plenty on offer for students that want to get involved in local churches and campus ministries. But our heart in Nottingham Navs is to find and help those students who are like sheep without a shepherd, to see those students encounter Jesus firsthand, and for them in turn to become an answer to Jesus' prayer, that they would be labourers on the campus harvest field next door to everywhere. We found 4 things to be really important in the way we do ministry. Firstly, everything we do should be real. It should be authentic, and we should have a safe space where people aren't afraid to be vulnerable. Secondly, we want everything we do to be highly relational. We'll never do any event, any gathering that you couldn't bring a friend to. Thirdly, we want it to be relevant. We want to give students credible, meaningful opportunities to respond to Jesus firsthand. And lastly, it has to be reproducible. Everything we do, students must be able to take and reproduce in their own lives and pass on to the people around them.
Navs are a really real bunch of people. I don't think you could put any of them into a stereotype.
And you'll get people, you know, who meet their mate at church, or even myself who was just approached in the bar and said, "Why not?" sort of thing.
We're all just meeting together and sharing our very different journeys towards the same goal.
What I always think is it's not necessarily what Navs does, it's who they are, it's who the people are, and that's what makes, for example, my non-Christian housemates feel very welcome.
We do loads of really applicable stuff at Navs, so it transfers right into normal life.
Last term, for example, we did a huge study on sort of the balance between work and rest, and that's particularly relevant, obviously, as a university student. We sort of get tasked to put what we've talked about into practice over the coming week, and then we get to sort of feedback on it, and that's really good to sort of keep you in shape.
Coming to university, I had quite a lot of questions. A lot of my beliefs had started being quite heavily challenged by the course I was doing, and I didn't really know where to go with those questions. Navs kind of provided that safe space to battle it out.
So the fact I was allowed to sort of challenge it meant that I've been able to strengthen my own opinions on the matter, and also far better at listening to other people now and sort of hearing what they have to say, and then using that to sort of inform my own worldview.
My one-to-ones with Beth have been a constant encouragement to keep turning to the Bible with every struggle that I have to deal with. And Navs has really provided a place to practice being vulnerable. I've learnt that being broken is okay because that's what Jesus shines through.
And we also want to be preparing our students to think about life and beyond the campus. So what happens after they graduate? How can they be real, relational, relevant and reproducible in the harvest field that God has for them, in their jobs, in their families, in the churches that they're going to go to? How can we help them start here in Nottingham Navs to learn to follow Jesus in every area of their life so they can go on to do it for the whole of their life, wherever God has next for them?